a couple of minutes past the hour, so I think we'll get things going. So welcome to our webinar, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. I know you're all busy, so thank you for taking the time to join us for the next 30 minutes or so. My name is Faisal. I'm joined by my colleague Toms, and we're both part of the customer success team here at NC Squared. We're excited to be your hosts for today's webinar, where we'll be showing you how to use the different capping options available within the app, with a focus on distributing leads to your sales team. The same setup, incidentally, and principles can also easily be applied to agents if you're using us for a support use case. So just a bit of housekeeping first. This is a one-way webinar, so we're the only ones on camera and audio, including any recording. If you'd like to ask a question, please do so using the chat or question panel. We'll get back to you offline via email after the webinar with the answers as soon as we can. So to today's agenda, I'll kick off with an overview of the problem and how DE with its various capping options can help. Toms and I will then take you through each of these in more detail, and we'll finish off with a summary and wrap up. So capping can be used to solve a number of problems, from balancing rep workload, ensuring correct prioritization of leads, and helping with fairness and timely follow-up. First, sales reps have a limited amount of time and resources to dedicate to each lead. The left-hand side of the slide illustrates the main problems. If they receive too many leads at once, they may not be able to follow up with each lead effectively, leading to missed opportunities and lost revenue. Second, assigning too many leads to a single sales rep can lead to questions on fairness of distribution amongst the whole team, which can mean decreased motivation and engagement. Finally, not all leads and reps are equal, so ensuring reps are kept topped up with an appropriate mix of leads may be key to the success of the team. By using capping options, we can address most of these problems, helping us to achieve the much preferred scenario on the right-hand side of the slide. Sales teams can manage the number and mix of leads assigned to each sales rep, ensuring that they have the time and resources to follow up with each lead effectively. This can result in higher conversion rates, increased revenue, and improved overall team performance. Now let's explore the different types of capping options available in Distribution Engine, including time-based caps, active caps, and criteria caps. We'll also discuss the difference between team level and distributor level capping. So we'll kick things off with team level caps and why you should use these for your teams. So let's talk about the first problem we're hoping to solve today. The challenge of finding a balance between maintaining manageable workloads and effectively utilizing all available record sources. You may encounter situations where a single team member gets assigned all the leads because they started their workday earlier, and now there aren't enough leads to distribute amongst the rest of the team. Or perhaps they get assigned too quickly, depleting all available sources in the first few days of the week and leaving the latter half of the week without any new leads to work on. So as depicted on the left-hand side of the slide, such scenarios can lead to irregular and unforeseeable workloads for your team, as well as other inefficiencies. So Matt, who signs in at 8 a.m., is assigned all the leads that have been sitting in the queue overnight. We have Jill and Kate, who start their days slightly later, receiving fewer leads as a consequence. Wouldn't it be great if you could regulate workloads and the rate at which record sources are exhausted, resulting in the rather more harmonious scene depicted on the right-hand side of the slide? Let me now hand you over to Toms, who'll show you how we can achieve this in Distribution Engine. Toms.
Thank you, Faisal. Hi, everyone. So in DE, you can set up a team level cap. A team level cap allows you to control how many records each team member could receive over a time period. For example, monthly, weekly, daily, and so on. You can also combine a team level cap with tags. This allows you to set up a different cap based on some attributes, whatever they may be. For example, skills, experience, geography of that team member. For example, your more experienced users could have a higher weekly cap than your less experienced users. So let's have a look at how to set this up in DE.
In my example, I want my team members in this team to receive a maximum of 150 leads every month, but no more than 50 every week, while also not exceeding 15 every day. So let's look at how to set this up in Distribution Engine. You will find caps under the Weighting and Caps menu item here, and we'll need to switch to team level caps. And with this green button here, we can enable them if we've not done this before. So first, let's look at setting up a daily cap. To do this, we'll use this Add Period button here, and from the drop-down, we'll select the period, which is daily in our example. Next, we hover over this row here to edit it. By default, it's unlimited, but we want to change it to 15 leads per day. In the same way, we can also change the weekly and monthly periods. Select weekly here, and we'll add monthly, and we can edit them all together. We'll change our weekly to 50 and our monthly to 150 leads. So let's recap. What have we set up just now? So this setup will cap the maximum number of records a team member from this team can receive. There'll be up to 15 a day, 50 a week, and 150 a month. You can also use a different cap for each team member based on some attributes, for example, skills, seniority, geography. You will need to use a team level cap together with tags to do this. I won't show you how to manage tags in this webinar, so if you have any questions about tags, please reach after the webinar and I'll be happy to help you. In my example, I want my ramped or more experienced reps to receive more records, more leads than my other reps. To do this, I've created a tag collection called experience level, which I can select here. So my tag collection includes the ramped tag, and I've tagged my more experienced reps with that tag. And here with the add row, I can add the cap for that specific tag. So here, I'll select ramped. And next again, hovering over the row, I can add the cap. By default, it's unlimited. But we can set that my ramped reps should receive up to 20 a day, up to 70 a week, and up to 200 a month. So to recap, with the help of tags, I've set up a different cap for my ramped reps. So this is higher when compared to reps with either another tag or a rep without a tag that is here in the default row. So my ramped reps will receive up to 20 per day, up to 70 per week, and up to 200 leads per month. And let's not forget to save it.
With the use of team level caps, as we've just seen, we are in control of our user workloads and how quickly our lead sources are exhausted. And as we see on the right side of the slide, our leads are distributed at a much steadier pace and our team workloads are more consistent.
Thank you, Toms. So far with team level caps, we've shown you how these allow you to control the total number of assignments that team members receive. But in reality, not all types of records are created equal, and neither are their levels of priority. So consider premium leads as an example. It may be wise to regulate their distribution to ensure equal opportunity for everyone in the team. Failing to adequately manage the distribution of high priority leads could potentially result in an imbalance in workload and potential conflict, where one team member receives an excessive number of such leads, leaving others with less desirable and lower priority work. You can see this depicted on the left-hand side of this slide with high priority leads in purple with the exclamation mark. So we have 3 high priority leads in the hopper. Using round robin, they could end up with the same person. So here's poor Matt again on the bottom left, not looking very happy. By using distributor caps, we can ensure that these high priority leads are more evenly distributed amongst the team. And Tom's will show you how to achieve this.
Thank you, Faisal. We can solve this problem with DE distributor caps. A distributor cap allows you to put a cap on each distributor, so we can balance the distribution of different types of records. This will help you control how quickly different types of leads are exhausted from your sources. Perhaps you want to throttle the distribution of your hot leads. So let's have a look at how to set this up in DE.
In my example, I have 3 different distributors. One for my cold, one for my warm, and one for my most premium hot leads. What I would like to do is I would like to cap my hot lead distribution to a maximum of 1 hot lead per day to each team member in this team. To do this, we'll use the distributor cap. I'm in the distributor level settings tab here, and I'll select my hot leads distributor. This will open a side panel with some further settings, and I will enable distributor caps with this toggle here. From the drop down here, I can select my time period, daily in my example, and I'll leave it at 1. I also have the option to respect or ignore team caps. I'll leave it to respect team caps. And I will click save. So to recap, we have throttled our hot lead distribution to only distribute a single hot lead per day to my team members in this team. You could do the same with any other distributor as well. Perhaps you might also want to throttle warm leads by selecting the warm leads distributor and setting up a cap here.
So with the distributor cap, we can balance the distribution of different types of records. So this will help you control how quickly different types of leads are exhausted from your sources. And if, for example, 3 premium records came in at once, they won't land with the same person. 3 people will get the chance to work on one each, as we see on the right side of the slide.
Thank you for that, Toms. So far, we've primarily looked at distributing leads based on time rather than actual workloads. So some people work faster, and in combination with all leads not being equal, you might want to more tightly control the mix of leads people are actively working on at any one time. Now, as a manager, one of your tasks is to distribute net new leads evenly among your team members, giving each person an equal number to work on each day. However, as is often the case, some team members will work their leads much faster than others. Some leads are more valuable, and some will take longer to work than others, resulting in the situation depicted on the left-hand side of the slide. So an uneven spread of work. In this case, you might want to adjust your approach to distribution. Instead of distributing leads just based on time, you may want to consider the actual workload of each rep and the mix of different value or complexity you'd like each rep to be working on. To achieve this, you could do 3 things. Firstly, prioritize leads based on their potential value and complexity. Secondly, define the ideal mix of leads a rep should work on at capacity. And lastly, monitor reps' workload mix and top them up appropriately once they have capacity. So by controlling the mix of leads that each team member is actively working on, you can help ensure that everyone is working at their optimal capacity and that the most valuable leads are being prioritized, as shown on the right-hand side of the slide. So let me hand you back to Toms for one last time to run you through our criteria and active capping options. Toms.
Thank you, Faisal. So how can DE help here? We can use criteria and active caps. Criteria caps allow for a cap to be placed on a distributor that limits how many records it will assign to users based on criteria rather than the time period. Active caps are based on the number of active leads a team member owns or the total value of a field. The active cap will stop assignments to a team member once their active count reaches the cap. So let's see how to set this up in DE.
First, let's look at an active cap. You can use an active cap if you only care about the workload of the rep and not specifically what type of leads they're working on. The first step is to set up an active cap definition. You can do this in the team settings here. Select the field you want to use for active status. In my example, I'll use the lead status field, and then select the active status value. I'll use assign in my example. This means that when a rep has a lead assigned to them and the lead is in the assigned status, this is a lead that they're actively working on. When they finish their work, they're expected to move it to another status, for example, contacted. This would then mean that they have capacity for another new lead. You can also balance the active cap by value instead of record count down here. For example, you could use deal value and set it to 100,000. So that means a rep can only work on the number of leads where the total lead value does not exceed 100,000. Let's look at how to set up the active cap itself. Let's first save this. As before, we'll find our caps under the waiting and caps menu and team level caps, and we will enable them. So in the add period button here, from this dropdown, we can select active cap. And when we hover over the row here, we edit it and we set it to 10 in my example. And let's add it. This means that a rep can only work on 10 active leads at once. And if they fall under this number, DE will top them up. That is, of course, if there are any leads available. And let's not forget to save it. We also have criteria caps. With this type of cap, you can be more specific as to what different types of records the rep should be working on at the same time. So let's use my earlier hot, warm, and cold leads example. Let's say that instead of controlling their full workload, we want to control the amount of hot and warm leads the rep can have with them at any one time. So we'll switch to distributor level settings. We'll find the hot leads distributor. We'll enable the distributor level cap. And in the drop down here, we'll find the criteria-based cap. And we'll set it to 3. So this criteria-based cap is based on distributor filters. So this means that the cap will count how many records the user owns, matching the filters in these distributors. So when a new hot lead becomes available, it will only be distributed to an individual that has fewer than 3 hot leads with them at that point. And let's save it.
So what we just saw were 2 different types of caps to control workloads. Active cap allows you to control workload as a whole. For example, allowing a rep to be working on a maximum of 10 leads at the same time, regardless of what type of lead that is. Criteria cap allows you to be more specific. For example, you may want your rep to be working on a maximum of 3 hot leads, as we saw in my example, at the same time, while the rest of their workload consists of other types of leads. These caps will help you ensure that every rep has their optimal workload, as we can see on the right side of the slide.
Thank you, Toms, for doing a great job running through all the capping options that are available in Distribution Engine. So to sum up, we explored the importance of capping when it comes to lead distribution, but we can also be applied to other record types in Salesforce. We cover the challenges that sales reps face when they receive too many leads at once, and how capping can help ensure that each lead is handled effectively. We showed you the different types of capping options available in DE, including time-based caps, active caps, and criteria caps. So time-based caps allow you to set a maximum number of leads that can be assigned to a sales rep within a specific time period, while active caps allow you to set a maximum number of active leads that a sales rep can have at any given time. Criteria caps offer more advanced options for setting limits based on specific data or business rules. We also discussed the difference between team level and distributor level capping. So team level caps allow you to control the total number of assignments each team member receives. So for example, for a team containing 3 distributors, let's say hot, warm, and cold, you may just want your team members to receive a maximum of 50 leads per day across all 3 distributors. Distributor level caps limit the assignments made by a specific distributor. So for example, you may want to set your hot leads distributor to assign 5 hot leads per hour and limit your warm leads to just 10 over the whole day. You can use both in combination. For example, you may set team level capping rules to ensure that each team member receives a minimum number of leads, whilst also setting distributor level capping rules to limit the number of leads that, let's say, high performing reps receive, thus preventing them from dominating the lead pool and ensuring fairness. So overall, using our capping rules can help ensure that your leads are distributed fairly and evenly whilst respecting workload and therefore maximizing your sales team's productivity and ultimately increasing their chances of success by closing deals. So all that remains is for me to say a big thank you to you all for your time today and for being our customers. We hope you found the information presented useful for your business needs. If you have any questions or would like to learn more about how NC Squared can help you with your requirements, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at support@nc-squared.com. From Tom's and I, we hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, everyone.